Hello, hello. Did you know that the FDA just issued a warning about off-brand injectable semaglutide products? What is going on? I was reading this article that was written by the Insider, and it said the FDA said people may be overdosing on knockoff semaglutide weight loss drugs, and that also means tirzepatide and any of the other GLP-1s. Consumers are self-administering incorrect doses. Reports found that some people administered 5 to 20 times more semaglutide than they intended to. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration says some people have been hospitalized with symptoms that may be related to overdoses from injectable weight loss drugs. The agency alerted healthcare providers and patients on Friday, saying it received reports that some people sought medical attention or required to be hospitalized after taking incorrect doses of compounded semaglutide products. Compounded pharmaceuticals are basically copies of approved medications that the FDA allows during a shortage, but which have not gone through the usual FDA approval process. This is currently the case with semaglutide and some of the other GLP-1s. Semaglutide is sold under the brand name Ozempic and Wegovy. We also have tirzepatide, which is mounjaro, and zepbound. Novo Nordisk has a patent on the semaglutide molecule and doesn't offer it for sale for compounding. This has caused confusion over where some of the pharmacies are sourcing their ingredients from. Compounded drugs pose a higher risk to patients than FDA-approved drugs because compounded drugs do not undergo FDA pre-market review for safety, quality, or effectiveness, the alert said. So basically, if you are taking one of these GLP-1s, you know that there has been a shortage and people are pretty much doing whatever they can to get it. I think there's so much information out there and a lot of misinformation out there. In some of the support groups, people have asked questions about the dosing. And I have heard people ask, can I take 2.5 injections because I couldn't get my 5 milligram injection? Or they have been asking if they could take 3 doses of the 2.5 to equal up to 7.5. And when I hear people ask that, it sounds logical because, in your mind, you're doing the math. But I would never want anybody to do that without talking to their doctor. When these medications were designed and when they were going through studies, they do all that for a reason. And that is so we can know what to expect on whatever dose. These studies aren't always perfect. I don't know if the people in the studies are watched so carefully where they're doing everything the right way. But at least we have some data and some knowledge. And we have people who, were willing to put ultimately their lives on the line to test these products out to make sure they're safe for everybody. So to go and do something on your own, I just don't think that that's, something we should advocate people doing. Always consult a doctor or a medical professional. I also heard the compound medication is easier to split your doses because it's an injection that is not in the form of a pen. So you're basically administering the amount you need with their guidance to put into the needle to give yourself the injection. So I can see where that would provide an opportunity for people to feel like they can take the liberty to increase or decrease as needed. And this probably has worked out fine for some people who have done it, but obviously with other people, it has not. I realize everyone doesn't have a doctor or maybe access to a doctor or insurance, but there are medical professionals we can seek out that aren't necessarily our doctor. So the pharmacy, you can always go up to a pharmacist, ask questions. If you run into a pharmacy where the pharmacists aren't friendly, find another one, go to somewhere else, because a lot of them are. You may come across, one that's not. And just like anything else, you go and you find one that is. So hopefully people will get the medication they need. I saw an advertisement, actually just yesterday, I saw an advertisement for semaglutide, Ozempic on Groupon. If you don't know, Groupon is like an online coupon that you can use to get a discount. And I thought, wow, this is on Groupon. This has potential to become the Wild West if we don't get a handle on it soon. In full transparency, I have never used a compound pharmacy, but I did research them when I was affected by the shortage. I couldn't get the 5 milligrams of mounjaro refilled, so I had to go back down to the 2.5 milligrams because that's all that was available. As a result of that, I did research what you should look for in a compound pharmacy. And I'm just going to quickly share with you, just in case you're someone who has thought about it. Here is what I found. When looking for a compound pharmacy for ozempic, mounjaro, or any of the other GLP-1 medications, you should consider things like licensing, safety, and the pharmacy's ingredients. Number 1, licensing. The pharmacy should be licensed in your state. You can check the National Association of Boards of Pharmacy website for a list of state boards. Number 2, FDA approval. The pharmacy should be FDA approved for sterile compounding and have no history of disciplinary action. You can check the FDA and state board websites to see if regulators have taken action. Number 3, ingredients. The pharmacy should use a semaglutide or tirzepatide base, the same active ingredient as Ozempic instead of semaglutide salts. So basically, you want the same ingredients. The FDA says the sodium version shouldn't be used to make copies of drugs in shortage. Number 4, independent lab testing. The pharmacy should send their formulations to an independent lab to verify its safety, potency, and sterility, which means being sterile. Number 5, compliance. The pharmacy must comply with state and federal laws, including quality standards and administrative requirements. So those are the things that I found to look for when I was checking out a pharmacy. And I actually didn't pick one. I didn't get to that point. As I said earlier, I never had to go the compound pharmacy route, but it's nice to know and be informed just in case something were to happen down the road and I would need to do that. So I'm sending out my prayers to anyone who has been affected by overdosing. I know we all want to get healthy and these medications are saving lives, but let's just stay safe in the process. I hope this video has been helpful. I'd love to hear from you. What do you think about overdosing? What do you think about the FDA warning? Leave a comment in the comment section and let me know what you think. Please subscribe to my channel, share the video, push that like button, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. Just don't quit.